How Unit 8200 broke Iran. The untold story of a digital war. Guys, imagine this for a second. You are the supreme leader of Iran. You sit in a bunker so deep underground that it takes 5 full minutes just to ride the elevator down. Thick walls, layers of security, the most protected person in one of the most guarded countries on earth. You think you're untouchable. But what if I told you that for years, someone has been watching you through your own cameras? Not spy satellites, not drones flying overhead, but the cameras on the street corners of Tehran, the ones Iran installed to watch its own citizens. What if I told you that every time your bodyguards drove to work, someone in Tel Aviv knew exactly which car they were in, what route they were taking, and where they parked? And what if I told you that on February 28th, 2026, when the missiles finally came, your security team's phones went dead? All of them. At the exact same moment, because someone had already hacked the cell towers around your compound. That's not a movie plot. That's Unit 8200. I'm Alex, and this is Geopolitics and Markets. Today, we're going deep into the shadows of the most sophisticated intelligence operation of the 21st century. How Israel's secretive signals intelligence unit 8200 broke into Iran's digital nervous system, weaponized its own infrastructure, and systematically dismantled the leadership of a nation. From traffic cameras to AI assassination algorithms, from Tehran's streets to underground bunkers, this is the story of a war you never saw coming. Segment 1. What is Unit 80? Israel's digital spear. Before we talk about what they did, let me tell you who they are. You've heard of Mossad, the spies, the assassins, the guys with sunglasses and silenced pistols in movies. But Unit 18, they're different. They're the nerds, the hackers, the mathematicians, the kids who skipped high school parties to code and now run the most powerful signals intelligence agency in the Middle East. Some say the world. Think of them as Israel's version of the NSA, but younger, faster, and with a lot less bureaucracy. They recruit straight from high school. Their average age is like 22, and they're responsible for intercepting, decrypting, and analyzing electronic communications across the entire planet. But here's what makes them scary. They don't just listen, they break things. Unit 8200 is the unit behind Stuxnet, that computer virus that physically destroyed Iranian centrifuges back in 2010. They're the ones who figured out how to make 1,000 spinning machines tear themselves apart just by rewriting a few lines of code. And for the past 5 years, they've been waging a quiet war against Iran's digital infrastructure. The Washington Post just published a massive investigation into this, and the details are mind-blowing. According to the report, Israel gained deep access to Iran's digital networks. And I mean deep. Security systems, traffic cameras, payment systems, government databases, everything that runs on a computer or a network. They were inside. One Israeli military official put it bluntly. Everything that can be hacked, we tried to hack. Phone calls, traffic cameras, internal security systems, even the command centers that Iranian leaders would use during emergencies or as alternative bunkers. Sometimes we accessed data from Revolutionary Guard intelligence, sometimes from the army or police, the official said. Our access to information became deeper and more precise. And here's the irony. Iran's own internet controls made it easier. By forcing all communications through centralized control centers, Stu monitored their own citizens. They created perfect choke points. And Unit 8200 exploited every single one of them. But collecting data is one thing. Making sense of it, that's where things get really interesting. Segment 2. The AI that never sleeps. Okay, so imagine this. Unit 8200 has hacked into Tehran's traffic cameras. All of them, almost every intersection, every major street, every government building entrance. The video feeds are being encrypted and streamed directly to servers in Tel Aviv. They've also hacked into cell phones. Thousands of them. The phones of IRGC commanders, of security detail members, of government officials. They can read texts, listen to calls, track locations in real time. They've even gotten into payment systems. They can see who's buying what, where, and when. They know when a target orders coffee. They know when they pay parking tickets. Now, Take all of that data. Billions of data points. Every day. How do you find the signal in all that noise? How do you pick out one specific pasanda, supreme leader, his bodyguards, his inner circle from the chaos of a city of 9 million people? That's where the AI comes in. According to the Washington Post, Israel developed a secret AI platform that does exactly this. It analyzes massive amounts of data, identifies patterns, and predicts behavior. It can tell you which car the bodyguards will use on any given day, what route they'll take to work, where they'll park, how long the leader will be in a meeting, even when he's likely to leave the bunker. One Israeli intelligence officer told the Financial Times, "We knew Tehran like we know Jerusalem." Think about what that means. They've been doing this for years, building what intelligence professionals call a pattern of life, a digital fingerprint of every single person they're tracking. And the AI doesn't just watch. It learns every day, every hour, every minute. It gets better at predicting where targets will be, when they'll be there, and how long they'll stay. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now. And here's the craziest part. The system can even adjust missile paths during flight based on real-time data. Imagine launching a missile, and while it's in the air, the AI gets new information. The target just moved, and the missile changes course mid-flight. That's not a smart bomb. That's a hunting drone with wings. Segment 3. The surveillance state. Let me paint you a picture of what this actually looked like on the ground. Tehran is one of the most surveilled cities in the world. The Iranian government installed traffic cameras everywhere, not just to manage traffic, but to watch its own citizens. To suppress dissent, to catch protesters before they even start marching. But here's what Iran didn't realize. Every camera they installed was a potential window into their own operations. According to multiple reports, Israel hacked almost all of Tehran's traffic cameras years ago. Not some, almost all. The footage was encrypted and sent to servers in Tel Aviv and southern Israel. In real time, Israeli intelligence watched the streets of Tehran. One camera was particularly useful. According to the Financial Times, it had an angle that showed exactly where the Supreme Leader's bodyguards parked their personal vehicles. Think about that. Not where they parked while guarding him, where they parked when they went home at night. From that one camera, Israeli analysts identified addresses. They built profiles of each bodyguard. They learned their shift schedules, their routes to work, even what cars they drove. And from there, they connected the dots. They figured out which bodyguard was assigned to which official on any given day. They could track the Supreme Leader's movements just by watching the cars around him. A former Western intelligence official explained it perfectly. Stealth penetration provides an extremely strong observation point. You don't need to hack the leader's phone if you can watch his security team's cars. You don't need to bug his office if you can see who's entering and leaving. Iran tried to close these loopholes. They banned mobile phones inside security agencies. They moved to a domestic and they tried to centralize everything. But as one official told NNR, even if the phone is banned during work, the person will return to use it once off duty. No one lives in isolation, and the data kept flowing. Segment 4. The digital siege, 48 hours that broke Iran. Now we get to the part that still makes intelligence professionals shake their heads in disbelief. February 28, 2026. A Friday morning in Tehran. For months, Israeli intelligence had known about a planned meeting at the Supreme Leader's compound on Pasteur Street. Top military leadership would be there. The entire command structure of the RGC, gathered in one place above ground. This was the moment they'd been waiting for. But here's the problem. Khamenei spent almost every night in his underground bunker, the one so deep that the elevator ride took 5 minutes. If they attacked at night, they'd hit nothing but concrete and steel. They needed him above ground, and they needed to know exactly when he was there. Enter Unit 8200. In the days leading up to the strike, Israeli cyber units executed what can only be described as a digital siege. First, they confirmed through their hacked cameras that the meeting was happening. They watched the cars arrive. They saw the bodyguards take their positions. They tracked the Supreme Leader's vehicle as it entered the compound. Then, minutes before the missiles launched, They pulled the trigger on a secondary operation. They disabled about a dozen mobile phone towers around Pasteur Street. Suddenly, every phone in the area stopped working. Calls wouldn't connect. Texts wouldn't send. The security team, the IRGC commanders, the emergency response units, they were all cut off from the outside world. No one could send a warning. No one could call for help. No one even knew what was coming. At 7:30 a.m., Israeli F-15 fighter jets took off and loitered at a safe standoff distance, waiting. At 9:40 a.m., the intelligence confirmed. The Supreme Leader was in the meeting room, not the bunker. The order was given. The Blue Sparrow missiles were released. Now, here's an irony for you. The Blue Sparrow was never designed as a weapon. It was originally built by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems as a dummy practice target to simulate Soviet-era Scud missile. Israel took a target drone, strapped a warhead to it, and turned it into one of the most effective assassination weapons in history. The missiles followed a quasi-ballistic space-grazing trajectory, flying so high that Iranian radar couldn't track them until it was too late. By the time the alarms went off, the bunker elevator was already useless. The meeting room was hit. The Supreme Leader was killed. So were the head of the Defense Council, the Revolutionary Guard commander, the Army Chief of Staff, the Defense Minister, and a large number of senior officials. In one strike, Israel decapitated the Iranian leadership, and according to the Washington Post, they've since killed over 250 senior Iranian officials using this same AI-driven targeting system. President Trump described it in his usual colorful way. We killed all their leadership, then they convened to select new leaders, and we killed them all. Segment 5. The human factor spies in the shadows. But let me pause here, because if you think this was all done by computers and cameras, you're missing half the story. The technology is incredible. The AI is revolutionary. The cyber capabilities are but none of it works without human beings on the ground. According to US intelligence sources, a human source was key to the success of the February 28th mission, providing critical information about the time and location of the meeting that made it possible to strike with absolute certainty. Mossad has been recruiting agents inside Iran for decades. They find disaffected regime insiders, people with access to sensitive information, and they turn them into assets, sometimes with money, sometimes with ideology, sometimes with blackmail. These are the people who confirm what the cameras are seeing, who verify that the target is actually in the building, who provide the final, crucial piece of intelligence that allows a strike to proceed. One former intelligence official told the Financial Times that the combination of technical data and human intelligence is what makes the system so deadly. Israel provided the signal's intelligence, he said. But US operatives secured human confirmation on the ground that the meeting was proceeding as planned, allowing the jets to strike with absolute certainty. The AI can track patterns. It can predict behavior. It can tell you with high probability where a target will be at a certain time. But only a human being can tell you with certainty that they're actually there. And that human being is risking their life every single day. Because in Iran, espionage carries one penalty: death. Segment 6. The other side, Iran's response, and the cost of war. Now, I've told you the Israeli side, but let's be fair, there's another perspective here. Iran isn't just sitting back and taking these hits. According to reports, Iran still retains about 50% of its missile and drone capacity. They've moved critical assets deeper underground into bunkers and tunnels that are nearly impossible to destroy from the air. They've also struck back. On April 5, 2026, Husdasago Iran announced that their intelligence chief, Majid Khademi, had been killed by a US-Israeli strike. This is the second IRGC intelligence chief to be killed in less than a year. His predecessor, Mohammad Qasimi, was killed in an Israeli attack on June 15th. 2025. Khademi had warned about exactly this kind of operation. Back in Agusti, urged Iran's parliament to prioritize the completion of a domestic, arguing that it was needed to safeguard the sovereignty of Iran's cyberspace. He was right, but it was too late. Iran has also imposed an internet blackout since the war began on February 28th. The entire country is offline. Only domestic websites and apps remain accessible. This is a double-edged sword. It makes it harder for Israel to hack in, but it also makes it harder for Iranians to communicate with each other, to organize, to protest. And the cost to ordinary Iranians has been devastating. Poverty is skyrocketing. Inflation is out of control. Jobs are disappearing. And the leadership that's supposed to protect them is being picked off one by one from the sky. A Russian diplomat recently claimed that Iran's new supreme leader, Murtaba Khamenei, the son of Elias, now in hiding, out of public view, terrified of meeting the same fate as his father. Whether that's true or just propaganda, the message is clear. No one in Iran's leadership feels safe, and that's exactly what Unit 8200 intended. Segment 7. The bigger picture. What this means for the future of war. So what does all of this tell us about the future of war? Let me give you 3 takeaways. First, physical walls don't matter anymore. You can build the deepest bunker. You can surround yourself with the most loyal guards. You can cut off all internet access and retreat into a concrete tomb. But as long as there's a camera on a street corner somewhere, as long as there's a cell phone tower within range, as long as there's a single point of digital connection to the outside world, you're vulnerable. Unit 8200 didn't break into Khamenei's bunker. They didn't need to. They broke into the world around him. The cameras on the streets he drove through, the phones of the people who protected him, the systems that ran the city he lived in. The bunker wasn't his protection. It was his prison. Second, AI is changing the speed of war. In the past, tracking a target took months or years of human analysis. You had to build dossiers, cultivate sources, piece together information like a puzzle. Now, AI does it in seconds. The system watches. It learns. It predicts. And when the moment comes, it executes with a speed that no human could match. The Washington Post report claims that more than 250 senior Iranian officials have been targeted using this system so far. That's not because Israel has 250 times more spies than before. It's because they have an algorithm that finds targets faster than any human ever could. Third, this war is a testing ground. Every new weapon, every new tactic, every new AI system that Israel and the US deploy in Iran is being watched by China, by Russia, by North Korea, by every military power on Earth. They're taking notes. They're learning. They're adapting. The next war won't look like this one. It'll be faster, more automated, more data. And the lines between cyber warfare, intelligence, and conventional military action will disappear entirely. One analyst put it bluntly: Iran is the new testing ground for US-Israeli AI artillery. And if that sounds scary, it should be. Lastly, Unit 8200 started as a small signals intelligence unit, listening to enemy communications from a desert outpost. Now, they've weaponized an entire nation's surveillance infrastructure against itself. They've turned traffic cameras into targeting systems, cell phones into tracking devices, and an AI into an assassin. The supreme leader of Iran thought he was untouchable in his underground bunker. He was wrong, because the most dangerous weapon in modern warfare isn't a missile. It's not a drone. It's not even a cyber virus. It's data, and the ability to turn that data into action faster than your enemy can react. That's what Unit 8200 does. That's how they broke Iran. And the scariest part, we're only at the beginning. I'm Alex. This has been Geopolitics and Markets. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to understand how war is really being fought right now. Stay curious, stay critical, and don't trust the cameras on your street corner. See you next time.